For some reason the audio's not getting picked up on the desktop, and I don't know why. What a start to this show, guys. It's working now. Let's not fuck about, let's get right into it. That intro goes on way too long. Hello and welcome into this Thursday's Movie News. I am John, here to speak about more movie news. That intro really does have to get shortened down. It is way too long a wait before Margley Mush comes on the screen. Most people will think it's way too short a wait because they want to see Margley Mush coming on this screen, getting postponed as long as fucking possible. But look, I'm meant to speak about movie news, as I usually do with Stephen. I'm on my lonesome tonight. There's a real dearth of movie news out there, which is why I've went with this headline. Mads Mikkelsen calls out copying Johnny Depp in the upcoming Fantastic Beasts 3 movie. Of course, if you have been living under a rock, then I'll give you a short little update. Johnny Depp get fired from his role, mutually consented out of the contract, really, over the whole abuse allegations lodged against him from the lying bitch that is Amber Heard, allegedly. She's lying allegedly, just in case someone watches this and I get fucking screwed as well. She put claims against him. He lost a lawsuit over here against the Sun, and that was the end of his time as Gellert Grindelwald. And of course, who stepped into the fray but the one and only, if I can speak the Queen's English, everyone's favourite Danish actor. I'm having a fucking mare here. Mads Mikkelsen, everyone's favourite Danish actor. I'll say it now. That's a little bit better. He stepped into the fray. He took over for the role of obviously Gellert Grindelwald, and there was lots of speculation over how he was going to handle this. Was he going to just copy Johnny Depp's version of the character? Was he just going to come in and do a sort of... If you remember when Han Solo was getting recast for the Solo movie, lots of people were asking Lucasfilm Disney, go to that guy on YouTube who was really good at impersonating Han Solo, the guy who could also simultaneously impersonate Robin Williams. I'm of course talking about Jamie Costa, but there was another guy. There was lots of people calling for that to happen, and it was the same when this news erupted that Mads Mikkelsen would come in to replace Johnny Depp. Lots of people were putting forward the notion, and I was kind of one of them, that he should recreate just every fucking single thing that Johnny Depp had done with that character. Have no shred of originality in it at all. Well, he's been out to speak about this, and looks like he's not going to do that. I must stress though, when I say that I wanted him to recreate some elements of the Johnny Depp character, I wasn't speaking about little acting tics, little things that he'd done to imbue the character with his personality. I was speaking about the blonde hair, and that was it really. He can even shave. He doesn't have to have the moustache and all of the other stuff that Johnny did, but he does need to have the blonde hair, I feel. We can't be getting in with these grey salt and pepper locks into this movie. That'd be a mistake. But look, this is what you had to say. Mads Mikkelsen is sharing, or this is what they've had to say from MovieWeb. We'll get into what Mads has actually had to say about it himself in just a moment. Mads Mikkelsen is shedding some new light on how he feels about stepping in as the new Gellert Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts 3 following Johnny Depp's exit from the role. In the previous movie, Depp delivered an unforgettable performance in his own unique way, he was on board to reprise the role for the third instalment before he was asked to resign by Warner Brothers due to his legal troubles. Needless to say, this is what Mads had to say. Nobody's interested in me going in there and trying to copy anything. That would be creative suicide immediately, especially when it's been done before and masterfully. Well, there has been some people asking you to go in and recreate some elements and copy some things. I did, for one. I want you to copy the hairdo. And I've seen some people asking you to just do a fucking bit-by-bit copy of Johnny Depp's performance. There's not many, but I have seen them. They're out there. So you're kind of incorrect there, Mads. There is some strange people out there that ask you to do that. But I completely understand what you're saying in this quote. It would absolutely be creative suicide to just go in and act like another actor. That's just not how it's done when you're a methodical, brilliant actor like Mads Mikkelsen. He continued though, he said this: so everybody's expecting us to find a different path. Having said that, we need a bridge between what he did and what I'm going to do. So those bridges you have to find together, where it's a certain look, whether it's a certain attitude in certain situations, but you have to make it your own. Anything else would be plainly just creatively stupid. He went on to say this: I'm a big fan of the Potter universe. That surprises me. And it's a kind of genre that you don't touch upon in my part of the world. You can't get away with that budget-wise in Denmark. So obviously when it came my way, it was a fantastic opportunity. And look, I'm going to press this macro just so when I come back to me, it doesn't do the intro again. I'm happy to hear, I'm speaking about that, I'm happy to hear that he's not going to do a complete recreation of Johnny Depp, but he's absolutely right in what he says, and that you do need a bridge of sorts between one version of the character and his very own take on the character. You do need to have that aesthetic bridge. I think it would be very annoying, and it would take me out of the movie, if Mads' version of the character was to have, say, black hair, and it was long, like a Severus Snape, when of course Johnny's hair was pure peroxide white and slicked back. There needs to be some form of bridge, and that's the only thing I ask, that they make the hair white. But what he says, I'm happy to see that he's not going to be doing a bit by bit, a sort of impersonation. He's going to put his own stamp on it, because that is why they have brought him in, because he's such a unique and different actor. And I'm so excited to see how he's going to take this character off on a journey. I'm so excited to see how he's going to bounce off of the likes of Jude Law, and of course some of the other figures in there, the likes of Eddie Redmayne. And of course it does call into question just why they cast Johnny Depp in the first place, because this whole furore over him allegedly abusing Amber Heard and the counterclaims of Johnny saying that she abused him, this was out in the public when he was cast. There was lots of annoyance from some sections of the Potter fandom over the casting of Johnny Depp. I remember it. They were petitioning to have him removed. So why the fuck did Warner Brothers cast him knowing there was going to be this controversy, there was going to be publicity, bad publicity for them, whenever he stepped on set to reprise this character, whenever he went into press junkets? I don't know why they done it. For me, if they were that concerned, AT&T and Warner Brothers, about casting this actor, about the controversy they were going to be courting with him being involved, then why not just cast someone like Mads Mikkelsen in the first place? A guy who's clean as a whistle, who's a stupendous actor, who has a bit of a notion for playing villainous roles anyway. You think back to his career, he's played Hannibal Lecter, he's played that guy from Doctor Strange, he's played a lot of villainous roles over the years. So he's adept at playing these guys. He is perfect for the role of Gellert Grindelwald. I personally don't know why they didn't even cast him in the first place. I think he is just... If you were to give me a list of actors and ask me to choose out an actor to play Gellert Grindelwald, I would have chose Mads Mikkelsen. It wouldn't have been Johnny Depp. And that's not me downplaying Johnny Depp's performance, because he was quiet as fuck in the first movie, let's be honest. He was barely in it. He came in at the last second, really, and revealed himself in place of Colin Farrell. Incidentally, Colin Farrell would have been another actor I'd have chosen to play Gellert Grindelwald, and probably over Johnny Depp as well. But Johnny's performance was very good in the second movie. It was a beige movie, a connective movie, taking us from one place to the expanded universe. We had a very Eddie Redmayne heavy first movie, and whilst I like Eddie, he's a bit taxing when he's carrying a movie. So we needed that Johnny Depp performance. We got it. It's there. It's never going to be changed. But I do want Mads to come in and do his own thing. And thankfully it looks as though he is going to do that. He's going to do his own thing. And I'm so fucking excited to see what he's going to do. But look, as a little connected piece of information, it's not pertinent to Fantastic Beasts, but it's pertinent to another movie I'm very excited about, starring the great Mads Mikkelsen. Potentially another villainous role. Might add, this t-shirt is so big, I have to say. The collar is actually wanting to go down my chest, and whilst I'm doing weight training and I'm a muscly little shit, I don't want to show off the chest, you know, it's a little bit too much. I'm here to speak about movie news, I'm not here to get thoughtless. Mads Mikkelsen has responded to being cast in the up-and-coming James Mangold directed, Harrison Ford led Indiana Jones, hopefully better than the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, or whatever that abomination was called, because I only watched it once. This is what he had to say about it. He was speaking to Collider, and he says this: "I'm very, very excited about it, not as much as me, Mads. I rewatched Raiders of the Lost Ark the other day. It is so well done and so charming. They really are. I can't recall which one it was now, to be honest, because I've lost the plot for the Indiana Jones movies, but the one with Sean Connery, where he played his father. I was taken aback by just how well crafted those movies were. That movie in particular, so frenetic in its pacing. Didn't miss a beat. I wouldn't have took a second out of it. The performances were so authentic. The dialogue was there. It was just felt like a 19 whatever decade it was set in, 40s Star Wars movie in our universe. It was fucking perfection, so I see what he means and I agree with him. So yes, it's a great honour to be part of that franchise that I grew up with. I'm in a lucky position where they let me read the script before, and yes, it was everything I wished it to be, so that was just great. Well, I tell you what, you've got me excited even more about this movie. My dog is currently raping his groin. He's licking hell out of it, and it's putting me off, I can't lie. He's just down there, and he's licking the living shit out of himself, man, and it is really fucking annoying, so please stop, Harley. Thank you. Why do I let this dog in when I'm recording shows? I don't know. When I'm doing live shows, I should say. We don't record anymore. That was about a year ago. This excites me, man. I was already excited about this up-and-coming Indiana Jones movie, because when Harrison Ford's excited about it, I'm excited about it, despite the fact he was in that Kingdom of the Lost Scroll movie and it was fucking shite. When you get James Mangold on board, that excites me as well. I can't recall who else is actually on board with this movie. I'm going to have to quickly search it up, man. I'm going to search it up very, very, very quickly indeed. I'm going to bring it up just now. Bring up Google. Try and search with this keyboard over here. It's a fucking nightmare. Indiana Jones 5. Boom. And I've just changed the scene. I do apologise, but it's necessary. There is someone else in this movie. I want to say it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but I'm not entirely certain. Let's bring it up. My connection's usually better than this, I'm not going to lie. It is Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And Thomas Kretschmann, who I also love. He is dynamite. He always plays Nazis in movies for some strange reason. Maybe it's because he's German, but he does it very well. I think it was in The Pianist. He was the guy who saved Adrian Brody's character, whose name... Vladislav Spielman. So there's a great cast there. James Mangold's involved. I love James. I love Ford v Ferrari, or Le Mans 66, whatever the fuck else in the world it was called that. And I also loved, of course, Logan. So he's a renowned director, and it's a bit of a coup for the studio to be able to attract him to this. So that can only suggest that the script is absolutely fantastic when you're attracting Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Thomas Kretschmann, Harrison Ford back, and Mads Mikkelsen, and you're attracting a calibre of director like that, so there must be something truly special there. I hope like The Force Awakens, because The Force Awakens was a good Star Wars movie, I have to say, despite the rest of the sequel trilogy being an unmitigated disaster. I hope it's almost like that movie, where it captures all of the great points of what we loved in the original trilogy, and gives us what we want, just unapologetically just feeds the fans everything they want from, in this case, an Indiana Jones movie. It seems like that's going to be the case. He's gone back and watching Raiders, and then he's speaking about this script, and that tells me that there's going to be some connection between Raiders and this movie. I've got it in my head it's going to be a recreation of Raiders of the Lost Ark, so that's an absolute positive. Hello there, Typhon. Thank you very much for watching. I see the little emoji. Welcome in. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in and sharing your time with me and commenting. It's appreciated. Not get much more to say about this, man. It was really just speaking about Gellert Grindelwald and the recasting, but I thought I'd fling that little thing in there as well because it was fucking interesting to me. So on that note, I'm moving on because I've not got much more to say about it. I'm excited about those two movies and what he's going to bring to them. He's a fantastic actor, man. I thoroughly enjoyed him in so many projects, and yeah, I'm always alert when he pops up. Speaking about this now though, DC and Marvel. I actually meant to search up about the Superman article. It came out a couple of days ago. that DC were looking at black directors. They were wanting to give us a black Superman, and of course we had the usual individual shrieking with absolute disbelief, shrieking with horror. My God, they're giving us a black Superman. How disrespectful to Henry Cavill. Why are they doing this to us? Superman should be white, he should have dark hair, he should have blue eyes. Fuck off. No, he doesn't. I says it the other week when I spoke about Michael B. Jordan and his, I don't know, dismay, his intrigue at the rumours, maybe connecting him to this movie, this potential recast. And look, man, I have no issues with having a black Superman. I've actually forgot the name of the Earth 2 Black Superman who was created in 2010-11 in the midst of the Barack Obama administration. I have no issues with it. I'm very intrigued to see a very different take on this character. We've had 40 years of a white Superman. Why not give us a black one with Michael B. Jordan or someone of that ilk? He's really the only name in my mind that can play the character. But someone else suggested John David Washington. He's a little short, but he's a great actor. He's got the charisma. He could maybe pull it off as well. But yeah, they've been searching for black directors, and of course Marvel are currently looking to make a Mahershala Ali-led Blade reboot, and they are also apparently looking for the same directors, and now they have pitched the said directors that could be in line to direct these movies. I'm shocked that Nia DaCosta isn't one of them, I have to say, because she has had the blessing of Jordan Peele to direct Candyman. He was originally set to direct that, and when you have Jordan Peele's blessing, and he's such a good director, I'm stunned that they don't even contemplate putting that woman in charge of one of these movies. It's not, her name's not there. You can see there, according to THR, certain directors have met with both Warner Brothers and Marvel Studios about the prospect of helming a new Superman or Blade movie, respectively. Both studios are searching for black filmmakers to tackle each project. Now, I'd normally be one of these dissent voices that would say, why do you need a black filmmaker to make these movies? Is that not racist in its own way? When you're trying to shoehorn it has to be a black person, a black woman, female, male to come in and direct the movie because it's a black led movie or a black character. I'd almost usually say, look, that's wrong. But then I think back to Creed, when obviously Creed 2, I should say, when Michael B. Jordan requested that Sylvester Stallone step away and bring in Stephen Caple Jr. and the reasons behind it. And I almost thought, yeah, I'm talking shite. I understand why they're doing it. Because really only a black person can imagine what another black person's went through, all of the looks, the sleek at racism, and how that would shape an individual, and how that would shape a cinematic version of that individual. So I understand why they're doing it. So I'll get that out of the way, get my little negativity out of the way, because I'm talking pish, as I usually do. For new Superman film, Warner Bros. And Bad Robot, which is of course J.J. Abrams. I actually thought J.J. was directing the next Superman movie. I'm happy he's not. Are looking at rising directorial talent as well as established household names. Among the former names are Stephen Caple Jr., who of course done Creed 2, J.D. Dillard, Regina King and Shaka King, with the latter being emphasised as especially well liked at Warner Brothers, thanks to him directing their recent Oscar-winning title, Judas and the Black Messiah. Now, look, I know Regina King for her acting. I can't even begin to kid on that I know about her directing. I'm going to look at some of the directors just now. As I did say, Shaka King did indeed direct Judas and the Black Messiah, and I have to say it was a tremendous movie with Daniel Kaluuya. And it wasn't Leslie Odom Jr., he done One Night in Miami. It was, I'm blanking on his name, which is absolutely shocking. But he's a great actor anyway. So I'd be intrigued to see him step in any one of the movies. I don't really care which one he does. Regina King I'm going to bring up and go to IMDb. I wasn't even aware she directed movies. There you go, I know she's a fantastic actor, of course. Let's have a look at her filmography for directing, just so I can share my thoughts on it. She done One Night in Miami, for fuck's sake, Steve, the one with Leslie Odom Jr. They're the finest. It's primarily been episodes on TV shows, so she would certainly fit the bill of that up-and-coming sort of name. She's well versed in the world of Hollywood, though. She's a fantastic actor, as I did say, so wouldn't be adverse to seeing her doing it, I have to say. But again, I want to fling in Nia DaCosta. I can't believe Nia DaCosta's not getting a look in here. That's very confusing to me, because I think she's a great director. But look, in the main, it doesn't really matter who comes in and directs these movies. It's completely irrelevant as long as it's the correct choice. And clearly they're looking for black directors, and look, for a representation kind of standpoint, I think it's great for that industry. They're finally giving people of colour, people from minority communities a look in when it comes to directing movies. 50, 60 years ago, it didn't matter if it was a black-led movie. It would have been a white person directing it, because you only throw them so much scraps in terms of minority communities. I mean, I think back to maybe In the Heat of the Night, one of my favourite movies with the great Sidney Poitier. I don't know who directed it, but I presume it'd be a white person, because it was 1967, 68, and that's the way it worked. So it's new times. It wasn't so long ago we had Oscars so white. It looks like we're finally getting the diversity we need. It looks as though we finally have enough powerful black people in the industry that they can stamp their feet and say, nope, I want this director, I want that director. So look, man, I'm looking forward to this new take on Superman. I hope that he will be a black Superman. I hope it will be Michael B. Jordan. I'm looking forward to this new Blade movie, because I grew up loving the Wesley Snipes ones. They were okay, but as a kid I thought they were great. Looking back, they're okay. I grew up watching them, and I'm looking forward to Mahershala Ali getting involved and getting shoulder deep, not knee deep, because that's a fucking dodgy term over here in Scotland, west of Scotland no less, in this character. So it's exciting times, man. I'll always love to see new takes on characters, and whoever gets it, as I did say, I'll be happy no matter what. Well, I want to see someone like Stephen Cable Jr. getting it. There you go. I put my name in a hat. Not that it goes for anything. But look, moving on. Speaking of black stories, it doesn't get much bigger than Black Panther from a couple of years ago, man. That was a zeitgeist movie for that community, for the world, really. A bit of a trailblazer in terms of what it done for representation, putting black people on the screen. And even in that movie, they flung in their token white men with Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman. But if you're going to put token white actors in, you pick those guys, because they're pretty fucking special in their own right. But Black Panther 2 has released a little bit of a synopsis, shall we say, on this movie. And it has me slightly concerned in equal measures, and excited in also equal measures, because that's what equal measures means. Equal measures something. Excited, a little bit disconcerted. This is what the synopsis says. I thought it had a better quote than that, but clearly it does not. I have switched off the wrong tab. I had MovieWeb up, and it has an infinitesimally better quoting system on its website. This is what the synopsis promises: to explore the incomparable world of Wakanda, and all of the rich and varied characters introduced in the first film. There was a couple. And Baku for one, Winston Duke. Which characters will be the focus of the new film remains to be seen, but the Wakanda... I have to burp, I do apologise. But with Wakanda containing multiple factions, including the Dora Milaje, who we've seen in, of course, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the War Dogs, who serve as Wakanda's intelligence espionage agency, there are plenty of angles for writer-director Ryan Coogler. Now, there was more to that quote than that. There was a quote there. Jesus Christ. Marvel Studios' Black Panther Forever will continue to explore the incomparable world of Wakanda, blah blah blah. Introduced in the first film, written and directed by Ryan Coogler. That was essentially it. We know it's written and directed by Ryan Coogler. We don't need to regurgitate that shit. Now, why does this have me slightly disconcerted, slightly worried? Well, I want them to move on from Chadwick Boseman, because I don't want them to tarnish his legacy as that character by CGIing him, recasting him. I want that character to remain wholesome and true to his vision. And we've had people in this channel disagreeing with me, and look, that's absolutely fine. All opinions when it comes to art and film are subjective, and you're entitled to it, but I fucking disagree with it, as is my opinion. We should not be recasting that character. We move on, we hand over, the Black Panther title to a completely new character. And be it Shuri, be it Baku, be it Daniel Kaluuya's character, be it fucking Eric Killmonger, bring in Michael B. Jordan again. I don't really care how they do it, but I'm glad they seem to be moving on from it. And of course, I think it was Lupita Nyong'o confirmed that they are going to handle this character, this passing of a baton, this movie, with the fragility and the sensitivity it requires. So I'm glad they're moving on from it. But that said, and that's the equal measure I'm happy about, they are moving on. It's going to be about Wakanda as a whole, exploring all of the myriad of interesting characters that were buffed aside to T'Challa in that movie. Where I'm slightly concerned though is, I don't want them spreading themselves too thin in this movie. I don't want every single character that was introduced, Shuri, whatever the other ones were called, I don't even know their names, Lupita Nyong'o, Danny Guerrero, Daniel Kaluuya, and Baku. I don't want to have this fucking, the quote from The Lord of the Rings, spread like butter spread thin on a piece of bread. It was that sort of quote of how Bilbo ended up feeling after his long time with the ring. I don't want them to do that with the movie, man, because it will spoil the movie. If you've got an incoherent structure and incoherent focus in terms of characters, it will turn out to be absolutely shite. That's what happened with Spider-Man 3 back in the day. There was too many villains. They didn't have a coherent plan on how to use all of these characters. I want them to pick someone, that's what I'm saying, to take over as Black Panther, be it Shuri and Baku, I don't give a shit who it is. Focus on them. Give the other characters in Wakanda as a whole time to flesh out and breathe and do whatever the fuck you want with it, but do it right. And I've got absolute confidence, man, that Ryan Coogler will get it right. He's a great writer, he's a great director. As I keep saying, I say it every week nearly, I speak about this movie. I go back to Fruitvale Station with that guy, and I've loved the journey with him and Michael B. Jordan in particular. And I've got absolute confidence he will handle the legacy of Chadwick correctly. He seemed to touch him personally in the time he worked with him on the first movie. I've got confidence he will handle the story correctly. He will give us a correct air in terms of Black Panther, and he will just make it absolutely pop and be an absolute box office success again. It's got its I can't even think of the phrase just now because I'm absolutely blanking because I'm so tired because it's late as hell and I've got weights and everything to do, so you must bear with me. I've got a couple of more topics to go before I go off the cliff completely. They have their hands full, that is the word I'm going to use, the phrase I'm going to use, trying to better that original movie. Because look, while some people look back on it in hindsight now and say it wasn't that great, I thought it was a great movie in terms of what it done with Killmonger, a great character, and what it done for that community and the black people worldwide. So if they better that, then my god, he's done something fucking special, because it won an Oscar, didn't it, after all. But look, I'm going to move on, and speaking about things that I'm slightly disconcerted by. It doesn't get any more disconcerting than this, man. Warner Brothers are looking at making a Joker 2. They're still planning on this stupid idea and putting it into fruition. I don't think this guy will have any interest in coming back and portraying Joker. I think he is very much a one and done kind of actor. I can't think of many movies that he's reprised a character in. I don't think he's done any sequels, in actual fact. He is a very methodical worker. And yeah, I just don't see him coming back. The success of this movie was almost like lightning in a bottle. The whole meme of we live in a society and what that did. This movie started to lose momentum even within the year it released, getting into the Oscars. I mean, this was supposed to be an absolute stick on it. I've got a fox currently screeching its head off outside the window, and it's just completely took me out of my train of thought. That fox is screeching like a fucking banshee, and it's just completely distracting me. Stephen's in the chat putting comments down. Stephen, you'll probably hear that fox where you are, round the corner. That was fucking terrifying, man. But terrifying as well as Joker 2 being a movie, man. I don't think he'll come back. I just don't think this guy will ever want to come back and portray the character. It started to lose momentum within the year it was released. And look, I thought it was a great movie, man. People says it was a rip-off of like Kings of Comedy and all of those great Taxi Driver and stuff like that, those great Scorsese movies. Of course, his production company was involved. But I enjoyed it. I thought it done enough unique little things with the character. What was a comic book movie? Fuck's sake. It done unique things within those structures that Scorsese had obviously inspired it. I think it done enough unique things, that's what I'm saying, to make it a very enjoyable watch. That says I don't want to see a sequel. I'm just going to come off from this, man. I'm not even reading it. Why did I even bring this up? Fucking joke. Why did I bring it up? I don't want to see a sequel for Joker 2. I want to see more standalone movies in Hollywood. I'm sick and tired of them making trilogies, of making duologies, of making franchises out of things just because they can. I just want to see wholesome, great standalone movies that are memorable and rewatchable, like Shawshank. I'm trying to think of other standalone movies that are rewatchable. In the Heat of the Night, Cool Hand Luke, movies like that, man. Standalone movies with interesting characters, interesting evolution across the three acts. You don't have to keep remaking trilogies, making franchises out of movies just because it was a box office success, because it took the world by storm for 3-4 months. So no, I don't want to see it. But I'm a fucking gimp in Glasgow, so Warner Brothers are not going to listen to me. They're going to continue. The only way I would want to see Joaquin Phoenix reprising his role as Joker would be not in a standalone Joker movie, because what did he even do? I suppose he only became the Joker at the end, really, didn't he? He accepted that godlike to the anarchist figure at the end of the movie. We never really got... I mean, he was a Joker throughout, of course, but he was... What was his character's name again? I'm blanking on his character's name. It was like a poor beige name he had. But I suppose you could do a standalone set up to that, a spin-off from that sequel. That's the word I'm looking for. and really dive into his Joker character completely mad. Todd Phillips, it's right in front. No, it was the fucking director. What was the name of his character in Joker? It was a totally beige name. I may have to search up after the show. I'm not doing it just now. The only way I would want to see him though is in a trilogy like Matt Reeves with Batman, going up against Batman, but then I want to see William Dafoe playing Joker in that trilogy, so I'm completely conflicted. I don't want to see it, there you go. But look, if you've got something to say, you're maybe watching this after, if you want to see it, comment below and argue with me. I like a good argument, so do that. Finishing the show though, time travel, that's what that was like there. Finishing the show with this topic. I've went from something I definitely don't want to see to something I absolutely do want to see. And what do I want to see? I want to see Nintendo planning more animated movies. Why have Nintendo not given a studio the rights to their products and made more animated movies? They are completely unique. Their characters, their worlds are so unique, so colourful, that they force me to go out and buy Nintendo consoles every couple of years. When I've already got a gaming PC that's worth about £2,000, when I've got consoles which are infinitesimally more powerful, I go back again and again and again to their consoles to reprise the likes of Mario Kart, to get whisked off into Super Mario, to get whisked off into a Yoshi thing, into a Donkey Kong thing, into their colourful characters, their colourful worlds. Why the fuck have they not gave a studio like, I don't know, Illumination or something like that, or Pixar, the rights to their products to create and give us amazing animated movies? I don't know why they've not done it, but of course they are making a Super Mario animated movie that's hopefully going to banish the demons, the banshees, because I was speaking about the Fox earlier, of that god-awful 1993, whatever it was, 92, 94 Mario and Luigi movie. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to them delving into this. So I think it's going to be a live-action animated mix thing, like Paddington, like Peter Rabbit. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it, man. Of course, the success and failure of that movie will determine whether we get more. But if they get the right directors in, they get the right voice actors, they just nail the vibe from the games, but give us something unique, because that's what I'm always saying when they adapt video game movies. You have to give us something unique. You don't anchor yourself to the video game stories. Of course, if it's going to be Super Mario, you're going to have Princess Peach, she's going to be getting fucking kidnapped with Bowser. That's what it is every single game. But give us something right, man. I'm looking forward to it. In terms of the other characters, it says there, you see it, Mario alongside other famous characters, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Link. You've got the Zelda games. Who wouldn't want an animated Legend of Zelda game? Could you imagine that world, man? On the screen, an epic story. It'd be like a Lord of the Rings video game type thing. It'd be fucking amazing, man. You've got Kirby, you've got the Kirby characters, that's those little shitheads there. There's so many cool Koopa Troopa, all of that stuff. You've got amazing characters, colourful characters who are just ripe for that animated realm when it comes to movies. I do not know why they've not done it up to this date. I don't know why it's took them 30 odd years to do it, because I grew up with these games and these characters. And I'm so happy to see that they're potentially going to be doing it moving forward. If Super Mario is a success, this movie they're putting out very soon, I do believe, then I hope they are emboldened by that and want to go off and give us more character movies from their wacky universes. Man, I think the actual guy, the Nintendo guy, I forget his name, he was working closely with the studio in terms of the script and crafting the story and where this character was going to go. That excites me, man, because he's an absolute genius, even though I can't remember his name, but he is a genius. That's going to round the show up though, man. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited about a lot of things. I'm worried about a lot of things in terms of Joker. I'm not really worried. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, man. I'm talking absolute shite. I don't want to see it happening though. But what is your thoughts on the topics I've touched upon on the show tonight? What do you make about Mads Mikkelsen coming out and speaking about how he's not going to creatively copy Johnny Depp's version of Geralt Grindelwald? It seems obvious, but some people were calling for it. What do you think on that? What do you make about him portraying this character? Do you think he's right for it? Do you think he should have had that role before, like me? Anyway, what do you make about his Indiana Jones stuff? He's excited about that. He's seen the script and it's making him a happy man, which is in turn making me a happy man. Is it making you a happy man? What do you make about the director stuff, the Joker 2 stuff, and finally Nintendo potentially making more animated movies? If you've got anything to say at all, you can comment below in the comment section and share your thoughts. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see more content like this before. Lord knows why you want to see me gibbering one load of fucking shite again for about 30 minutes. It's infinitesimally better when I have someone to bounce off of. But if you enjoyed it and you want to see it again, that's what you do, guys. But until then, as ever, I'm done. Bye bye.